I've shot everything from 35mm film to full-frame digital, but something was missing. I wasn't looking for better specs. I was looking for a different way to see. That's when I found the GFX 50R, and this is the story of why it just clicked. So a little bit more about this camera. It honestly has many different ways of customizing it, because there's a lot of buttons and dials on it. And that's great because I have it set up how I want it. And it's working really well. I've been using this now for about 2 months, this GFX 50R for about 2 months. And I gotta say that with adapted lenses, it works really well. And you know, Fuji really thought this out. This is like 7 years ago, but they really thought this out and figured that people were gonna do this. And I gotta say, with these Leica R lenses, it's just like having, you know, a GFX lens on here. These Leica lenses that I have are great because they're lighter and they're smaller than the GF lenses. The GF lenses are just enormous. They're just big and fat around. You know, I gotta say, I like using the Leica R lenses, even though they're manual focus. It's still a lot of fun using it. I did get a couple of reflection shots, or at least one good one that I like. And I've shot it before, but not with this rig. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the office and I'll show you what I got from this little trip. But I'm also going to show you the images that I've been shooting with it for the past couple of months. And I'm not going to talk about each one of them, but I'll put them up on the screen and show you what I've been able to get. Some of them are good, some of them are just, you know, playing around with the camera. This is a departure for me because I'm used to Fuji X system, which is a 1.52 crop, and or my Leica MP240, which I really got to pay attention when I'm using that camera because the depth of field is shorter. Well, it's even shorter with this camera. So, you know, it's been a lot of fun, and these cameras are now fairly inexpensive. I mean, they're still expensive. There's no way around it. The GFX 50R is still an expensive camera. It's still around $2,000. So for a lot of people, it's just not, it's going to be out of reach, or I mean, I sold off 2 cameras to get it. And what are you going to do? I wanted to play around with it because I borrowed one from Fuji a while ago, and I really, really liked what I got. So I've been having fun with it. I love the detail. I love everything about it. It's a 7-year-old camera, so it's a little clunky. The shutter on it is like a clunk. Here, let me. I'll give you an example. There you go, kind of clunky, but hey, that's the way it rolls, and I'll probably have this camera for a very long time because it's kind of cool, and I love using it. I love using my Leica too, and I was debating whether or not I wanted to do a comparison of shooting with the 50R and shooting with the Leica MP240, but you know, it's like comparing apples and oranges, really, if you think about it. One's a whole lot smaller, a lot easier to use. And this one here is, you know, not as easy to use, but I've made it that way. So here's that reflection shot I was telling you about. I think it looks kind of cool, but it looks better with a 65 by 24 crop in this shot right here. And I did it again with this shot right here. It's not a great photograph, but I think it's kind of cool. Right here is a cropped image from a 4:3 ratio. It's about half of the image. Another one taken with the 50mm lens. I really like this lens. The same with this one here. The best thing is that this sensor converts to black and white extremely well. All of my conversions have been unbelievable. Now, this image coming up right here, I didn't bring it into Silver FX Pro. I used the Acros Plus R profile in Lightroom. With this shot, I was trying to figure out how close I could get with my Summicron 50mm f2. And as you can see, I was able to get in fairly close. This shot was taken with the Leica Summicron 50mm f2 at f11. Now here's one of the problems with this camera. Really short depth of field. This is at f8 with the Summicron 50mm. As you can see, I'd have to do some focus stacking or shoot it at f16. Okay, this next set of images were all done with the 45mm f2.8 by Fujifilm. And as you can see, the detail is just crazy. And they converted the black and white even better. Just crazy detail. I just love the way they rendered in color, but also how they converted the black and white. And these were all shot at f8. These last images were also shot with the 45mm f2.8 from Fujifilm. And as you can see, they're just astounding. You know, most of them were shot at like f8, 5.6 maybe. I think this one is f8. Overall, these files were a joy to work with. And I gotta say that the dynamic range was awesome. And the images just came out great, even though the subject sometimes wasn't so great. A few years ago, I borrowed a GFX 50R from Fuji and loved the experience. Then recently I came across a used mint 50R right here at a good price. Something about it just felt right. The rangefinder style, the larger sensor really appealed to me, but the camera is old, so I had to get past this and work with what the camera can do and not what it can't do. I'm using my Leica M and Fuji X cameras, but you know, I wanted to slow things down even more, and that's why I purchased this 50R. Leica and Fuji, it's all about the moment, but there is room for slowing down even more and being one with the experience. So this 50R helps me slow down. I stop chasing moments, I wait, I look, every frame feels more intentional. The sensor renders light in a way that makes me pause. It's hard to explain, but the files feel spacious. I'm back to caring more about what I see than how many shots I take, and that's made a huge difference with this camera. It's not perfect. The autofocus is slow, the files are big. It doesn't do everything a newer full-frame mirrorless does, but I didn't choose it for perfection. I chose it for the process that it takes me through and the images that I get out of it. Sometimes the right camera isn't the newest one. It's the one that makes you fall in love with the process again. So this channel is really still about Fuji gear, and this is Fuji gear right here. The GFX system is part of that. But I'm also going to be still doing a lot of Fuji X stuff. I still have a lot of Fuji X gear that I love to use, and I use it on a daily basis for my photojournalism work. And you know, there are still some quirks about it, but you know what? It's still doing the job. That's all I care about. I'm going to be very honest with you here. I would be all Canon if I wasn't semi-retired. This gear is, well, this isn't lighter, but the Fuji X stuff is lighter and smaller than the R6 and the R5 and the R3. You know, if I was a full-time photojournalist, I'd be using an R3, but I'm not. So I'm with the Fuji X gear, and I still love my Leica, and I'll be talking about the Leica, and I'll also be talking about using Leica with film. So the M5 and the M3, I'm going to be doing some videos on that. So I'm sorry that I haven't been around for the past couple of months, but I've had some things going on, like I had cataract surgery, and everything is definitely whiter and more colorful. Let me put it that way. So it's been more fun out photographing. You know, to be honest with you, really, it's $2,000 or $3,000 less than a GFX 100 RF. And even though that's a pretty cool camera, I'm liking this a lot better. This is a better choice for me. And I might do a video comparing the two, although I don't have one of those cameras. It would just be a specs thing, and you know, this is definitely heavier, it's bigger, blah, 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 all that. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And if you wouldn't mind, comment and like. Commenting on what you think of the GFX 50R, the old rangefinder style. It's a great camera. I'm really enjoying it. So thanks for joining me this week. And remember, it's not what you photograph, it's how you photograph it, and we'll catch you next time.